Okay, so we are now at example 3. Once again, actually, we're using the A minor to A sus2 idea, but a little bit differently this time. So basically the notes are rearranged in different positions a little bit. So the A minor chord, rather than being here, this time we're going to just play an A root with the root in the higher octave and the minor third on the G string at the 5th fret. This one's a little bit more cleaner sounding, if you will. The reason being is because we've only got the third with 2 root notes. So these are essentially like a drone octave type idea from the open A string to the 7th fret on the D string. So there's no harmonic tension there because they're the same note, just in different octaves. But then we have the 5th fret on the G string. That gives us our harmonic tension. Now, as far as the fingerings go here, there's a couple of ways you could do it, starting with 3rd and 1st finger, moving then with 1st finger down to the 4th fret on the G string, like this. That's certainly the way that I would recommend to do it if you can. The reason being because the next change, what we're doing is we're going to take that A root note 7th fret on the D string, the C note, so basically like a small A minor chord, and then we're going to use our 4th finger at the 8th fret on the low E string, and we're going to then mute the 5th string. It'll probably happen naturally, just let the pinky finger just arc a bit over the 5th string and it'll mute out. You might get a bit of a harmonic, but you're not going to notice that when you're strumming it. And this is going to give us an A minor / C. So as you can see there, if you can just keep your 3rd finger in its position and do this to begin with. That's going to make it a lot easier to do. Failing that, you can use, I guess it's a little bit harder to begin with, you could use your 4th and middle. And then just use your 1st finger over at fret 4 there, like that. That's on the G string. Initially harder with 4th and middle, a bit easier then because you've just got to put your 1st finger down, but then you've got to sort of switch over into this chord anyway. So either way, it's going to be probably a little bit tough if you're not used to doing this, but you know, the old adage applies, practice makes perfect. So practicing it over and over and over again, you will get better at it. So let's stick to that fingering that I talked about firstly. So we're just going to use 3rd and 1st. We're going to just stretch out a bit to get to the 4th fret, and then we're going to plant our 4th, or come back with the 1st finger to the 5th fret on the G string, and then put our 4th finger at the 8th on the low E string, which is our A minor / C chord. Okay, so let's have a listen to it so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what's interesting here is we're not moving position that much. So a lot of what we're doing is around the same area. The next chord in the sequence is the A minor / D. It sounds like this. It's basically a bar chord because you have to bar the finger from the B string all the way up to the A string, and then we're going to put our 3rd at the 7th fret on the D string. And you'll notice in the chord diagram in the Guitar Pro transcription, you'll see those, it's basically like a bar running across the strings to indicate that. And that's the last chord in the sequence for the first half of the idea. So let's have a listen to it, the first half. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go back to the A minor after that. A sus2 then. Now this time we are going to bring the 1st finger back to what, like like what we did before, so 5th fret on the G string. But we're going to basically stick to as far as the basic progression goes, we're going to do it just in a different spot and with the colorings of the major interval. So we've got F major. So this is basically an F major triad here. So we've got the F note, 8th fret on the A string. We've got the major third, which is the A note at the 7th on the D string. And then we've got the 5th, which is the C note, and that's at the 5th fret on the G string. You're not really going to see these used a lot in like rock music or anything, but it sounds surprisingly good. For some reason, the major intervals sound good with a distorted tone. Maybe because they're a little bit wider, like a half step wider for the major third as opposed to the minor third. That's the minor third, major third. Okay, so we're strumming through that. And pretty straightforward from here. We just move the same shape up a whole step into the 7th position. And this is a G major triad. And the trick to the last bit is what you do is you just take your 4th finger off. And these two here, the 3rd and the 1st finger, are set up ready to move back. And that puts you into the A minor chord. So a lot of chord changing is really just about efficiency and economy of movement. And once you can get that down, it becomes a lot easier. Okay, so to finish with, let's play through it at a medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4.